So this is going to be a quick review on K&B Transportation. Full disclosure, I still am employed here, at least for the next week or so. Just wanted to kind of point out some things that I experienced here, and maybe help some of you guys make a decision on whether or not to come here. First thing out the way is the money. They are serious about that guarantee. I think it's currently $17.50 for their Road Warrior program. Essentially, you have to be out 2 months and then you get 10 days off at home. That's serious. The money's good as far as that's concerned, and it's a good thing because since New Year's, last couple weeks, I've been really slow. Maybe hitting 2,000 miles. So that 2,500 mile guarantee at $17.50 has helped out. So that's pretty good. Fleet manager or driver manager, that's also pretty good. The equipment, the trailers, every trailer I've come across has been decent, and the tractor itself, although I don't like the way it's spec'd out as far as like the fuel tanks. These tanks are smaller, so you only get maybe 600 miles to a full tank or full tanks, versus in a normal Freightliner, and it's a Freightliner Cascadia, versus in a normal spec'd out truck, you get anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 miles of range, depending on, of course, terrain, how heavy you are, stuff like that. So I don't like that part, but the truck overall is pretty nice. It's got a APU inverter, and so I don't have any problems there. The mattress is what it is. There's a CB in here, a refrigerator. Actually, this refrigerator is brand new. I don't use it too much, but for a drink or two. But the CB I don't use at all. I'm not a CB guy. So that's more or less it on the tractor. Fuel cards, they want you to fuel at Pilot or Flying J, preferably, because they get a better discount there. And Love's is okay, but they really prefer Love's or Flying J. So that's pretty much some of the better stuff that I've come across here. This is gonna seem like I'm trashing these guys, but I'm really not. It's just not for me. And what I mean by that is, as far as time wise, if you take out the amount of hours a week that I'm running, I could go home, on a $23 an hour job and work the same amount of hours and make the same amount of money, and possibly more, depending on $22, $23, $24, $25 an hour. And if you get one that pays like $30, then you'll surpass what you're making here. So it just doesn't make sense for me, and mainly because they run a lot of split breaks. So many times, you'll pick up and then they'll say, okay, that delivers by whatever time, and it's obviously it's refrigerated food products. So most of these are going to be live unload unless you do like a Tyson meats load. But you go to a grocery chain, and these guys don't respect your time. You're there. I was at Jewel Osco in Chicago. I was there for like 6 hours, and so in that situation, thinking that I'm gonna get out of there, I don't go take a nap or nothing. So I'm up the whole time, waiting, for the green light or whatever. And so that's an 18-hour day. And I'm not somebody who needs a ton of sleep, and I don't mind. I'm a truck driver. I don't really mind the schedule, but there's a lot of stuff like that goes on, and it just doesn't make sense from an hours work point of view. Not just your 70-hour clock, hours that you're off duty, and we all know that we're still technically working. So, and the other thing about the clock too is they don't run resets here. We run off of recaps, so you don't even have a day to look forward to. Like, hey, I'm gonna kick ass all week, So, and then I'll get my 34 and I'll relax. For me, I like to get away from the truck. I'll go to a hotel. Maybe get a good steak. If the weather's good, many times I have my golf clubs on me. I'll go find a range, hit a couple, 100, 200 balls, and just kind of get away from trucking, and then do it again, when my reset's over, and same thing the next week. And so that also kind of, that's a kind of a deal breaker for me, because who wants to work every day, and here, you're working basically every day. Every once in a while you'll get a load that picks up, maybe you gotta wait 18 hours, but typically you're running every day. And so it just doesn't make sense to me. That's, I know it's a different kind of freight, but I don't like that. And so the other thing is too, when I talked to a recruiter, we went over some basic stuff, basic questions, whatever, and didn't mention a phone policy, didn't mention anything about anything like that. And you get there in orientation, and which is nice. Orientation's only 2 days, and you don't do a ton of stuff. You fill out a lot of paperwork and whatever, but they'll put on a few videos, and you don't even really got to watch them. They leave the room, and you're just sitting there kind of bored, and they do what they're gonna do. But anyways, so then the safety director comes in, and he talks about the phone policy, and here's what they don't tell you. And for me, it's not a deal breaker. I'm not one to use my phone all that much anyways, but they want you to download this Lifesaver app, and so it tells them if your screen goes on or whatever, but they don't tell you that over the phone when you're talking to recruiters, because they know that it's gonna it's probably gonna affect them by like 20%. They'll probably have 20% less people apply, because some people really, right or wrong, they like using their phone. Whatever, not a big deal to me. But and after your first week, the recruiter will call you to see how you're doing. And I told him, hey man, you kind of sandbag people. You don't say anything about that, over the phone. You get them there, they fly, they fly you out, which is cool. They pay for it. They put you in their hotel, and but they do all that. They get you there. Then they say, oh, by the way, here's this phone policy. And he tried to say, oh, well, we can't go over everything. Everybody's questions. Nah, bro, that's a lie. Like, at best, you omitted to tell us that. Okay, and so you're already starting off in the rears, because people are like, okay, that's how these guys operate. Okay, whatever. So that's one. The hours of service, these guys, the way they plan these loads, like I said, the split brakes, they personal conveyance. A lot of companies don't mess with that, because they know that the drivers abuse it. And the truth is, here, the company abuses it. I've always been told personal conveyance is exactly that, personal. Whether you got to go grocery shopping, go do some laundry, stuff like that. And the way most companies have explained it to me, well, not most, I've only worked for 2 other companies. The way they explained it to me was, if you have to either, if you have to do anything, or if you have to use a PC to complete any part of an active trip, that's not personal conveyance. So I call it company conveyance. And to be honest with you, many times I purposely go over, so that I can kind of have an argument with safety and say, like, well, that's the wrong use of personal conveyance anyways. But whatever. Actually, that's another thing, real quick. I know I'm going to be jumping back and forth, but I got some stuff written down, but I'm kind of freelancing this. Oh shit, what the hell was I going to say? Safety. I don't know that they're all that serious about phone policy and stuff like that, and hours of service. It don't seem like it to me. I've tested the waters, especially with the phone stuff. I just do it for kicks, and I've never gotten a warning or nothing like that. The screen will light up on the tablet. Oh, the tablet sucks, by the way. It's garbage. If you're wearing polarized, you can't see the damn thing. Whatever. But the phone app is good. But anyways, sometimes, yeah, the tablet will light up sending you a message. Please remember, don't use your phone, blah blah, whatever. But I've never had somebody call me from safety and been like, hey, what's going on? Are you using your phone? Nothing like that. Personally, I think they just have it set up to save them on insurance. Whether they enforce it or not, I'm not even too sure. That's what it seems like to me. And I don't know, these guys seem to be a little sketchy when it comes to safety. Like I said, because of the way they plan the loads, it's I don't think it's as professional as some of the other carriers. So yeah, the tablet's garbage, is junk. They put the cheapest damn thing you could possibly buy in here, or that you could possibly buy. So I don't like it. It's trash. Let's see here. What else? Micromanaging. These guys don't stop. My fleet manager's pretty good. Then again, he kind of knows my attitude, and I've kind of, since I've been here, I kind of voice my opinion. Like, you don't need to remind me of certain things, But these guys, you're gonna pick up this load and try and make it here to take your break, and blah blah, and like you're asking for experience, so obviously, we should know what we're doing. We don't need to be babysat during the whole process. You don't got to hold my hand. And these guys, they don't stop. They don't stop. So that's another problem. And back on the dispatching, sometimes we get lucky and we get there early for a live unload. Maybe we get there at 1 o'clock when the appointment was for 3. They say, hey, get in the door. Boom, you're out of there 2:45. Your appointment wasn't even until 3. Well, that's good for us, because now, okay, we got some time, whatever. Maybe we're going to get something to eat real quick, hit a truck stop, take a break, whatever. You send the message in, and then they'll call you. Oh, we see that you're empty. Just want to give you heads up on your next load. By the way, it picks up at 4 p.m. Mind you, it's already 3 o'clock. And make sure your trailer's quick clean, odor free, blah blah, whatever. And it's like, okay, so now, in my experience, and I don't treat it this way because I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm not gonna be trying to save you guys, every day, and because you guys can't plan loads. But it always seems like you gotta clean up other people's mess, or be a hero picking up these loads, because, like I said, I wasn't even supposed to be offloaded. The appointment wasn't until 3 o'clock, and I'm just using this one load as an example, or that as an example. But you're offloaded by then, so then they call you up saying, oh, your next load picks up at 4. You're in Chicago, you're 30 miles away. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work. So, stuff like that. You're always having to kind of save the day, as I would call that. And I don't do it. I don't, I just drive smooth. I do my thing. Don't get me wrong. On the highway, I'm a madman. I do my thing and whatever. But I'm not gonna go all out because you barely gave me a load, that picks up less than an hour. And so for me, these guys, I understand the freight is different because most of what we do is going to be live loads and live unloads, and so they're trying to see which truck is the best situated for that. But it just, I don't like that kind of trucking, and nobody does. Pre-planned loads, I think 20% of my loads are pre-planned, meaning I don't know what I'm doing until after I deliver 80% of the time. And like I said, they call you, oh, by the way, this is what's going on. And when you do get a pre-planned load, a lot of times it's like, oh, well, after you drop this load, make sure you PC out so that you can be off duty already, so that you can take your break and you're not burning up all that time, so that you can pick up this load that picks up, maybe in 10 hours from now. Okay, well, if you're still getting offloaded and you got to get to the truck stop and whatever, okay, well, that's probably another hour and a half. So you see what I'm saying? If you don't use PC, you're not going to be able to leave on time to pick up that load. So it's always stuff like that with these guys. And I was going to stay. The truth is, I was never going to stay here forever because one, I live in Arizona. The area we run is essentially central U.S., Midwest, and on top of that, I wasn't gonna. My ultimate goal is to be at home doing fuel delivery. That's my ultimate goal. So I only came out here to kind of kill some time because CRST, who I was leased onto before, changed their motto. They're going away from the student model, and that's how I made most of my money because I was a trainer. So once they did that, tried flatbed, that sucked, no money in it. So I came over here to recoup some of my losses. And like I said, the truth is they were never going to keep me long term. But I did plan to stay, 4, 5, 6 months. But after being here, no way. It's not worth it. Like I said, the main thing is the amount of hours we work comes out to less than $25 an hour, with no overtime. And I told my fleet manager that. I put my 2 weeks in, and that's the other thing too. They want a 2 week notice, and I've never been with a trucking company that demands that, and then they demand it. I think they even make you sign something in orientation, and I don't know. To me, I think they think they're special or something, because most trucking companies, okay, you want to quit, let's route you in. That way we can give somebody else who wants to be here, give them that truck. No harm, no foul. See you later. These guys, it's like they kind of want to hold you hostage a little bit, and but I'm a good sport, and I put in my 2 weeks. I made sure I sent it on the system because I wanted everything documented. I told them what day I expect to be back, and I wanted it all there, so it's documented. I've talked to a lot of drivers, former K&B drivers, because you see people on the road, they're like, oh, you work for K&B, and it's with any company that you drive for. Oh, you work for those guys? And then, oh, well, what's up, man? And I'm not too talkative, but some of the stuff I had seen firsthand, I wanted to really kind of get the feel for these guys. And more often than not, I heard the same story. Oh, I tried to quit. I had another job lined up. They're like, oh, well, you got to give us 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Because, if you don't give us the 2 weeks, then that messes up somebody's home time. Look, one, if you're going to tell me that when my home time is scheduled and you tell me, oh, we can't send you home because so-and-so quit, nah, bro. No, that's got nothing to do. One has nothing to do with the other. So that's a bunch of BS. And then but anyways, they want you to keep running. They're like, oh, after this load, we'll get you in, blah blah, whatever. And it's always changing. It's always changing. And when you finally tell them, no, I'm not doing that, I'm just gonna deadhead in. Now they threaten to call the troopers and but I had a discussion with the guy I was in orientation with. I said, think about that. They threatened to call the cops on you for what? Truck's not stolen. Picture the phone call. They call in and they say, hey, we got one of our semi trucks, one of our drivers is driving down I-80 and he's not supposed to be. What's the highway patrol going to say? And it's not our job to police your company. That's your job. You have a problem with that driver doing something, with that truck he's not supposed to be doing. That's not an emergency. Don't call us. You know what I'm saying? So I explained that, and so eventually I got this guy to go ahead and just deadhead in and be done with the company. And then, they're like, well, we'll put something on your report, on your DAC report or whatever. And it's like, stop. Just stop. Like they're trying to force you to stay. And I heard that from no less than 10 drivers. And one of the guys I went to orientation with experienced everything I just said. Now, I'm sure some people are going to say good things, and I've run into those people too. They like it here. I don't know why. I don't know who wants to work every day for 2 months, but whatever. But I did hear a lot of that. I don't understand why a company would want somebody that doesn't want to be here in their truck. Get them out, get that truck so somebody else can take it. And, that's the way it is, But these guys, they, like I said, I think they think they're a little special. And, it just, stuff like that. So, with all that stuff, I don't recommend these guys. But I guess the most important thing is, can you make the money? Yes, you can. So if you need to come here to maybe bridge a gap, maybe catch back up on something, and then just take off, if whatever. I don't like bouncing around, and like I said, I wasn't gonna leave these guys this soon, but I had home time scheduled for first week of February, and I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take off, and I'm not gonna come back. It's just not possible. I'm gonna sit there at home for those 10 days and be like, nah, it's not worth it. So rather than them paying for my flight home, and then telling them that I quit, like I said, I'm trying to be professional and letting them know, hey, I'm quitting now, because now it's my responsibility to get home, and whatever. So just stuff like that. Like I said, I've had my good days here, but most days suck. I'm and the micromanaging gets to you, and it's too much. It'd be different if there was only one thing. Most companies have that one or two things, and everything else you can live with. These guys, it just seems like it's one thing after another, and they're family owned, which is cool, but I believe they're on second generation now of ownership, and I think popular opinion on that is typically the offspring don't run it as well. From what I understand, this guy or these brothers or whoever they are, they're really active in their approach to running the company, but whatever. So I just want to let everybody know that you can make money here, but you are going to deal with a lot of BS, and that's just been my experience. But I'm still here probably for another week. Like I said, if you do come here and decide it's not for you, try and stay professional and give them the 2 weeks, even though I think that's, but just do what you got to do.